Hi guys, taking the next session of managerial decision making, part 2 of this video, where I'll be taking two variations. One is discontinuance of a product and the second is export offer. I had mentioned in the previous open video that in the next session I'll be taking two variations, and after this I'll take another video with a very important variation of key factor. Now, what exactly do you mean by discontinuing a product? This is very simple. Today's session is very interesting. You will find it very simple. But guys, don't go by the final conclusion from the answer, but apply the logic. That is more important. If you get that, then the remaining part of the chapter will be very straightforward for you. Again, I am repeating the same thing what I mentioned in the earlier class. For this, the concept of marginal costing is important. Without marginal costing, you won't be able to get the concept of decision making. Now, coming to the first variation of this session, discontinuance of a product. What is the situation? There are 3 or 4 products manufactured by a company where, as per the data in the question, it shows that 1 or 2 products are going into losses. Now the question is, data may show there is a loss. The impact is because of fixed cost. वो कैसे आता है, we will see in some time. So what you have to do is, they have given you a specific data in the question. Considering the data given in the question, you have to analyze and give your decision. Is it really worthwhile to discontinue a particular product, or the company should not discontinue and continue the product? See, the final conclusion will be very interesting. Normally क्या होता है, if there is a product which is showing a loss, उसको बंद कर देते हैं ना, तो assumption ये होता है कि कंपनी का प्रॉफिट बढ़ेगा or the loss will reduce. Understand this, huh? If a particular product shows a loss, then if we discontinue that product, the assumption is normally that उसको बंद कर दिया, प्रॉफिट बढ़ेगा या लॉस कम होगा. लेकिन ऐसा is not always possible. So how to see that situation, how to analyze that situation, that we are going to study in this session. So 2 parts. The first part, you have to take a call whether you should discontinue the product or not. Again, the question is there in the description box. Let's see, half the solution is already there in the question. You have to take a call on remaining. Very interesting. In fact, the length of the solution is shorter as compared to the question of the solution. Let's see. Extra question 1 on discontinuance of product. Sorry. The following is the data presented by ABN Ltd for the year ending 31st March 25. They have given you 3 products, X, Y and Z. They have given you sales, variable cost, differences, contribution. Now see, fixed cost, the total is 7 lakhs. But they have segregated that 7 lakh of fixed cost into 3 products, X, Y and Z. Final profit, if you see X में there's a profit of 120, Y के column में there's a profit of 40. Now see guys, Z के column में there's a loss of 40,000 and the total profit is 1,20,000. Understand? एक product loss दिखा रहा है and तीनों का net result is showing a profit of 1,20,000. So they have already given you that if you are selling the 3 products X, Y and Z, the company is making a profit of 1,20,000. Now हमें क्या करना है? What we are supposed to do? See what they are telling you further. The finance manager of the company is of the opinion that product Z is a non-profitable one. Why they are mentioning this? Because if you see Z ka column na, there is a loss of 40,000. Now whether it is an actual loss or no, थोड़ी देर में पता चलेगा. And if they discontinue, the profit will go up. You have been invited to analyze the situation and make presentation to the management to help to take the final decision whether product Z should be discontinued or no. So currently the company is manufacturing and selling 3 products X, Y, Z. They want to discontinue product Z. So you have to advise them whether the company should discontinue Z or continue as it is. So guys, see now, जो क्वेश्चन का प्रेजेंटेशन है मैंने सेम बनाया, but we are supposed to take a call, we are supposed to make a decision whether Z should be discontinued or no. So what I'll do, particulars, product X, product Y and total, मैंने Z को निकाल दिया है, because we have to analyze the situation keeping in mind Z is there, which is already in the question. Keeping in mind Z is not there, then compare the profit loss which we get here with the question ka profit. Okay guys, now यहाँ पे I had given you all the hint while doing the chapter marginal costing, focus on the concept of fixed cost. But उसके पहले sales and variable cost giving you the contribution. Let's see. Now see, X and Y continue कर रहे हो. When you continue the product, you will sell them, and when you sell, you will incur the variable cost. So the sales variable cost and the contribution given in the question for X and Y will continue as it is. Okay, so let's copy paste that. This is very simple, but understand the logic. Sales X का 12 lakhs, Y का 8 lakhs. Remember, heading क्या है? Z is discontinued, so Z is out. So 12 plus 8, 20 lakhs. From this, we will deduct the variable cost. From this, we will deduct the variable cost 720 and 560. So 7 and 5, 12 lakh 80,000. Okay, 12 lakh 80,000. Take the difference, that is your contribution. 12 minus 720, 480 already given there. 240, 4 and 2, 6. This becomes 7 lakh 20,000. So contribution is 7 lakh 20,000. So sales minus variable cost gives you contribution of 720. Now guys, be careful here. From this, I will deduct my fixed cost. From this, I will deduct my fixed cost. Now, you all know very well, marginal costing में किया डिटेल में, of course यहाँ पे और डिटेल में आएगा. Fixed cost remains fixed. Very first session of marginal costing. Variable cost is the cost which varies or changes according to the output, whereas fixed cost is that which remains fixed irrespective of the level of output. Variable cost is that which changes or varies according to the output, and fixed cost is that which remains fixed irrespective of the level of output. Now listen, क्वेश्चन में तुमको प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए दे हैव गिवन यू इंडिविजुअल फिक्स कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट वाइज दैट इज एलोकेटेड ऑन अ सुटेबल बेसिस. नाउ हैव दे स्पेसिफाइड अगर मैं Z को कंटिन्यू करूंगा तो मेरा फिक्स कॉस्ट बचेगा. Is there any information in the question that if I discontinue product Z, will I be saving on fixed costs? Is there any information? No. So remember, if Z is discontinued and there is no information, इसका मतलब ये है कि there will be no change in fixed cost. The fixed cost will continue as it is. When I say continue as it is, matlab, even if Z is discontinued, the fixed cost which is shown in the column of Z will continue. Fixed cost Z का निकलेगा और will reduce only when the question mentions. So जो question में जो total fixed cost है 7 lakhs in the total column, that will continue as it is. They have shown you in the form of presentation. But when you summarize the full year का data, fixed cost product wise नहीं होता. It is for the entire period. Very first session of marginal costing. Variable cost is called as product cost and fixed cost is called as period cost. So fixed cost is for the entire period and not product wise. So in short, तुम्हें जो फिक्स कॉस्ट दिया है इंडिविजुअल प्रोडक्ट उसका हमें कुछ नहीं करना है. वी आर कंसर्न विद द टोटल. देन टू फॉर द प्रेजेंटेशन पर्पज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, जरूरत नहीं बिकॉज दिया हुआ है. सो 360 फॉर एक्स, 2 lakhs for y and 140 for z. Remember, even if z is discontinued, Z का fixed cost will continue as it is. So if you add up 360, 560, this is 7 lakh. So 720 minus 7 lakh gives you 20. Therefore, my profit is 20,000. Therefore, my profit is 20,000. Profit is 20,000 rupees. Now guys, अभी ध्यान से देखो. I hope this concept is clear. नहीं समझ में आया वापस मैं रिपीट करता हूं. Z is proposed to be discontinued. प्लान है कि प्रोडक्ट Z को बंद करना है. So that's why from here the column of product Z is out. The column of product Z is out. I make only X and Y, sales minus variable cost contribution. The products which I am continuing, उसका contribution will continue as it is. The products which I am continuing, उसका contribution, sale, variable cost will continue. When it comes to fixed cost, if there is no saving in fixed cost, then the existing fixed cost will continue as it is. Even the discontinued product का fixed cost will continue. देखो, अगर मैं फैक्ट्री का रेंट भर रहा हूं, whether I'm just giving one example, whether I manufacture 1 product, 2 product और 3 product, मेरा रेंट तो सेम ही रहेगा ना. हाँ, अगर मैं ये बोलूं कि एक प्रोडक्ट डिसकंटिन्यू कर रहा हूं, अभी मुझे कम जगह चाहिए, देन मेरा रेंट बचेगा. लेकिन अगर वो नहीं है तो रेंट आई एम पेइंग ओनली. सो माय फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट विल कंटिन्यू एज इट इज. सो दिस वाज एन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. सी, सॉल्यूशन इज वेरी सिंपल बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक. व्हाट इट नाउ गाइस, फाइनल कंक्लूजन. क्वेश्चन में देखो तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट कितना था. See the question का profit final total column 1,20,000. Now listen ना, अगर मैं प्रोडक्ट Z को कंटिन्यू करता हूं, my profit is 120. अगर मैं प्रोडक्ट Z को कंटिन्यू करता हूं, my profit is 1,20,000. और अगर Z जो क्वेश्चन में दिख रहा है लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी है उसको मैं बंद करता हूं तो इंस्टेड ऑफ माय प्रॉफिट गोइंग अप माय प्रॉफिट इज कमिंग डाउन. सो जो मेरा प्रॉफिट 1,20,000 था वो 1,20,000 की जगह has come down to 20,000. 1,20,000 की जगह has come down to 20,000. So in fact, I am losing out on 1 lakh का profit. Getting it? वापस रिपीट कर रहा हूं. क्वेश्चन में प्रॉफिट दिया है 1,20,000 if Z is continued. Z के कॉलम में लॉस दिखा रहा है तो if I discontinue Z मेरा प्रॉफिट बढ़ने की जगह कम हो रहा है. So my profit is 20,000. Now see, 120 became 20. 1 लाख कम हुआ. Now क्वेश्चन में ही पता चल जाएगा 1 लाख किधर कम हुआ. See the column of Z. Z का कॉलम देखो. Z का कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना है? अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक गाइस. आई एम कमिंग टू द मेन पॉइंट नाउ. Z का प्रॉफिट कितना है? 1 लाख. So Z का प्रॉफिट 1 lakh है. That means my contribution is reduced by 1 lakh. And because my contribution is reduced by 1 lakh, my profit also has come down by 1 lakh. Fixed cost तो मेरा सेम ही है. Getting it? प्रोडक्ट Z को मैंने बंद किया. But product Z was giving me a contribution of 1 lakh. Fixed cost, nothing is mentioned, remains fixed. मैं Z को बंद करूं या ना करूं मेरा टोटल फिक्स कॉस्ट 7 लाख ही रहेगा. लेकिन बिकॉज आई हैव डिसाइडेड और आई एम प्रपोजिंग टू डिसकंटिन्यू Z, my contribution has come down by 1 lakh and because of that my profit also has come down by 1 lakh. So it is advisable Z को बंद मत करो. Let the production of Z continue as it is and the profit will go up by 1 lakh. That means the original profit which is given in the question. So जो question में 1,20,000 का profit था अगर मैं Z को बंद करूंगा it will reduce to 20,000. That means reduced by 1 lakh and the only reason for that is contribution lost because of discontinuance of product Z. Therefore, the final conclusion is product Z को बंद मत करो, continue करने दो. Okay, just write down the conclusion. लिखो. If product Z is continued, if product Z is discontinued, if product Z is discontinued, the total profit will be 20,000. The total profit will be 20,000 as compared to 1,20,000. If product Z is discontinued, the profit will be 20,000 as compared to 1,20,000. This reduction of rupees 1 lakh, this reduction of rupees 1 lakh is because of this reduction of rupees 1 lakh is because of contribution foregone, is because of contribution foregone due to contribution foregone due to discontinuance of product Z. This is because of contribution foregone for discontinuance of product Z. Therefore, it is advisable to continue. Therefore, it is advisable to continue the production of product Z. Therefore, it is advisable to continue the production of product Z to have higher profits. Advisable to continue the production of product Z to have higher profits. Got it, guys? See, टेबल में कैलकुलेशन सिंपल था, but this was important. Fixed cost remains fixed irrespective of level of output unless and until the question tells you the fixed cost changes. Got it, guys? Those who are going to study this chapter with me, those who are studying this chapter with me, आगे जाके इसका डिटेल आएगा, डिटेल कैलकुलेशंस और आएगा, वेरिएशन, but this is an open video on YouTube, so I'm getting your concept clear. Got it, guys? So this was the next one of the important variation, discontinuance of product. अभी क्वेश्चन में तुमको करंट लेवल ऑफ प्रॉफिट ऑलरेडी बना के दिया था. समटाइम्स यू मे हैव टू कैलकुलेट दैट. देयर आर बोथ सम्स आस्क्ड 3-4 टाइम्स. कभी कभी तुमको खाली यही बनाना है और कभी कभी क्वेश्चन का जो टेबल है वो तुमको बनाना है व्हेन द करंट लेवल ऑफ प्रॉफिट वाज नॉट. गॉट इट, गाइस? So this was the first variation of this session. Now I'll take the second variation, which is very important, one of my favorite parts. Second favorite, मेरा जो favorite part है वो next session में आएगा, key factor. Key factor is my favorite part of this chapter. Many times it has been asked in the board exams. Of course वो हम लोग next session में देंगे. So right now I'll just pause the video and I'll be back with the second part of this session, that is whether you should accept the export offer or no. I'll just be back, guys. Okay, guys, taking the next variation, as I mentioned, export offer, very interesting, one of my favorite part of this chapter. You can say my second favorite. As I told you, my favorite part will be coming in the next session, where I'll be taking some on key factor. That video also will be an open video on YouTube. Now, let's see. See, when I say export offer, the situation is such that currently you are selling in domestic market, matlab local market or Indian market. Now, you have got an offer where you are getting a chance to sell it in the export market. But the price which you are going to get will be less than what you are selling in the domestic market. So you have to take a call whether it is advisable or no. Let's read the sum, what I'm going to solve in this, and then we'll see. Guys watching the video on YouTube, the question is there in the description box. Let's see. A company produces 1000 units and sells it in domestic market. The following is the per unit cost of the product. Particulars: material, labor, they have given you cost per unit. Factory overheads fixed, variable. Admin overheads brackets में mentioned fixed. Even if nothing is mentioned, admin overhead is always fixed only. Selling and distribution fixed, variable, and total cost is given. The domestic market can consume only 1000 units at a selling price of 300 per unit, as there is no further demand. So in India or in your local market, you can sell maximum 1000 units, उससे ज़्यादा demand नहीं है, and the price is 300. Now, there is a demand of the product in export market where 5000 units can be sold, but at a reduced price of 230 per unit. इंडिया में सेल कर रहे हो, डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में सेल कर रहे हो 300, बट इफ यू सेल इट इन एक्सपोर्ट 230, 70 rupees less. Should the company accept the offer of export market? Show necessary calculations to support your answer. Now see, I am going to do detailed calculation because it is mentioned in the question. एग्जाम में अगर तुमको 15 मार्क का सम आएगा, you have to do this calculation. Now step by step. First step is, you all know very well, fixed cost remains fixed, variable cost varies according to the output. So my step number 1, we will calculate the variable cost per unit. There's a specific reason you need this, plus यहाँ पे तुम्हारा calculation भी short हो जाएगा. Okay, so the first step, go with the flow. What I am doing, you will get the concept towards the end of the sum. So the first step is we will just get the variable cost per unit, not the fixed cost. Now see, क्या क्या दिया है? Material labor. You all know very well. Marginal costing में भी किया है. Nothing is mentioned. Material labor are always variable. Labor is another name for wages. Okay. So let's take material 80, labor wages 72. Remember, it is cost per unit. Now factory overheads fixed and variable. यहाँ पे I am just calculating variable, not fixed. So let's take factory overheads. So variable factory overheads 40. Admin overheads is fixed. यहाँ पे I don't want fixed, I want only variable. Okay. Then selling and distribution only variable. कितना है selling and distribution? 32. So selling and distribution overhead 32. Let's take the total 152, 192, 194 and 20. 224. Therefore, my total variable cost is 224. My total variable cost is 224. Now guys, understand this. I can give the conclusion here only. But as I told you, we will go in detail and question may be bola hai, you have to support your answer by calculations. Now listen, you all know variable cost varies according to the output. Fixed cost remains fixed. Now, have they mentioned that if you go for the export order, you have to incur extra variable cost or fixed cost? No. Detail mein when we do the sum in the regular class, those students who are studying with me, we will see in detail. But this, I am just getting you all the basic of export sums in this session. So, my variable cost is 224. Now guys, कभी कभी क्या होता है ना बिजनेस में, if you are not incurring extra loss, then अगर तुम्हें नया मार्केट कैप्चर करने का चांस मिलता है, you should go for it. And how you'll come to know whether you are going to make extra cost or no? Variable cost. That's the reason I calculated this. मेरा variable cost 224 है. You all know very well. Fixed cost remains fixed. So, if I am getting an offer from the export market where even I am able to recover my variable cost, that means अगर मेरा export price 224 है, I will grab that opportunity. Financials को एक बार भूल जाओ. अगर मुझे एक्स्ट्रा प्रॉफिट नहीं भी मिलता है बट मेरा लॉस भी नहीं बढ़ रहा है, आई विल ग्रैब द अपॉर्चुनिटी. मुझे नया मार्केट कैप्चर करने का चांस मिलता है. इन प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम्स और इवन इन प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ, इवन इफ देयर इज अ नॉमिनल लॉस और थोड़ा बहुत लॉस इनकर भी करना पड़ता है ना, इफ यू सी फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, फ्यूचर का देखोगे तो नॉट एट ऑल बैड टू एक्सेप्ट द ऑफर, बट वी विल गो एज पर योर अंडर ग्रेजुएशन लेवल. सो मैं यहीं पे कंक्लूजन दे सकता हूं, यू शुड गो फॉर इट, बट वी विल गो फर्दर एंड गेट द कैलकुलेशन. सो ये हो गया वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, you can give the conclusion here only, but we will show the detailed calculation. 15 मार्क का सम है तो पूरा करना पड़ेगा. Now see, second step, you find out at the current level. When I say at the current level, मतलब on the basis of goods which I am selling it in the domestic market. Export तो बाद में आ रहा है. currently you see whether you're making a profit or not. Okay, how will come to know? Kitna hai mera sales? 1000 units. Okay, so what I'll do, calculation of profit or loss at current level of sale in domestic market. Sales कितना है मेरा sales in the domestic market? I am selling 1000 units at what price? 300. So can I say my sales in the domestic market is 3 lakhs? My sales in the domestic market is 3 lakhs. Now from this I will deduct the variable cost. From this I will deduct the variable cost. Now listen, मुझे ये सब वापस लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. I already got variable cost 224. Another reason for doing this. So what you'll do, put a bracket 1000 into 224. So my variable cost is 2,24,000. Now you know the difference is my contribution. So 3 lakh minus 224, 76,000 is my contribution. 76,000 is my contribution. Now I want profit. You all know very well how I get profit. Marginal costing में इतना किया हुआ. From my contribution, deduct the fixed cost. अभी देखो, see the question. Which were the fixed cost? There were 3 fixed costs. Factory overheads fixed cost was 24 per unit. Admin overheads nothing mentioned, always fixed. यहाँ पे दिया भी है. And fixed selling overheads. Now listen. Fixed cost remains fixed irrespective of level of output. Currently company क्या कर रहा है? They are just selling 1000 units in domestic market. Currently the company is just selling 1000 units in domestic market. So मेरा जो फिक्स कॉस्ट है क्वेश्चन का वो भी 1000 यूनिट्स पे ही है. सो व्हाट यू विल डू, आई जस्ट पुट अ ब्रैकेट हियर, बॉक्स ब्रैकेट 1000. ओके, और आई जस्ट वेट. फिक्स कॉस्ट देखो कितना है. लेट्स टेक फिक्स कॉस्ट वन बाय वन. अंडरस्टैंड दिस कैलकुलेशन. फैक्ट्री फिक्स ओवरहेड 24 प्लस एडमिन 22 plus 20. 24 plus 22 into 1000. So add karo 24 and 22. That gives you 46 plus 20, 66. 66 into 1000 is my fixed cost. So 76 minus 66. My profit is 10,000. इसका मतलब ये है guys, currently if you are selling only 1000 units, currently if you are selling only 1000 units, then you are making 10,000 rupees का profit in the domestic market. अभी तक export picture में नहीं आया. So I'll repeat. My fixed cost, which is given per unit, has to be always at the current level of output. Has to be always at current level of output, and my current level of output is 1000 units. So मैं तीनों fixed cost per unit को add करूंगा, which is 66 and multiply by 1000. So that gives me 66,000. So my profit is 10,000. So the current level of profit which I am earning during the year, current level of profit which I am earning during the year is 10,000 rupees. Now I have to give my conclusion. मैंने पहले ही बोला, in this case it is advisable to go for the export offer because the price is more than the variable cost, but we will show detailed calculation. Now guys listen, I'll change the angle now. Yeah, थोड़ा यहाँ बराबर है. Now see, मैंने थर्ड टेबल बनाया. ये क्या था? Calculation of profit loss only when goods are sold in domestic market. Calculation of profit loss only when the goods are sold in domestic market. Now here what I have done, calculation of profit loss when the goods are sold in domestic as well as export. So यहाँ पे मेरा heading आएगा calculation of total profit loss when goods sold in domestic as well as export market. Headings will be particulars, domestic, export and total. Particulars, domestic, export and total. Now यहाँ पे total column नहीं था because you were just selling in domestic. If they ask you आगे जाके समय हो that you sell either in domestic or in export, कोई भी एक जगह, so total column नहीं आएगा. But you are selling at both the places, therefore there will be total column. दोनों जगह पे बेच रहे हो, therefore total column will be there. So now what I'll do, let's do the calculation. Okay, headings clear. Sales. अभी देखो डोमेस्टिक का सेल्स मैंने ऑलरेडी लिख लिया 3 लाख, सो सीधा यहां से कॉपी पेस्ट करो 3 लाख. नाउ व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन फॉर एक्सपोर्ट? व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट? कितना यूनिट्स है? 4000 यूनिट्स. एट व्हाट प्राइस? सॉरी 5000. एक्सपोर्ट में आई एम गेटिंग एन ऑर्डर ऑफ 5000 यूनिट्स and the price is 230. So what I'll do, 5000 into 230. Guys, 1 minute, I'll just get my calci लिख आता हूँ. 1 minute. Sorry guys, calci मेरा बाहर था. So now 5000 into 230, how much? 11,50,000. I'll repeat, मेरा एक्सपोर्ट का सेल्स 3 लाख, सॉरी डोमेस्टिक का सेल्स 3 लाख and export 5000 units I'll sell but at a reduced price of 230. Correct? 230 था ना? Yeah. So let's take the total. 3 plus 1150 gives you 14,50,000. From this, less variable cost. Now can I say मेरा variable cost भी same रहेगा domestic का? 2,24,000. Now guys see, have they mentioned if I sell goods in export market my variable cost changes? No. So मेरा variable cost same रहेगा. आगे जाके there will be sums where you sell in export and domestic, fixed cost and variable cost changes, but here I am just focusing on the basic concept. Okay, so what you will do, here the variable cost will be 5000 into 224. 5000 into 224. So 5000 into 224, 1120 plus 224. So my variable cost is total 1344. Let's take the difference. Contribution 3 lakh minus 224 already there है 76,000. यहाँ का contribution देखते 1150 minus this 30,000 So 76 plus 30, alternatively 1,06,000. Got it, guys? So my contribution is 1,06,000. From this, I will deduct the fixed cost. Now remember, I showed you in the previous session also, and in terms of marginal costing also, fixed cost remains fixed irrespective of level of output. Unless and until the question says the fixed cost changes, it will change. Now see, kitna tha mera fixed cost? 66,000. Even though here it was only domestic because there was no other sale, you will show fixed cost only in the total column. So now see, 1,06,000 minus 66. My profit goes up by 40,000. Fixed cost you will show it in the total column. Previous session में मैंने explain किया था. Again I am repeating. Fixed cost remains fixed irrespective of level of output. So the fixed cost is 66,000 and my profit is 40,000. Got it? अभी देखो guys, conclusion वैसे भी आ गया था. Now detailed conclusion. If I sell, understand this very carefully. Similar concept what we did in this session का first sum as well as previous sum. Profit 10,000 है. If I sell only in domestic market. If I sell in domestic and export both, profit कितना हो गया? 40,000. So obviously यहाँ पे profit ज्यादा है. I'll go for this option. Conclusion आ गया. But reasoning देखो, logic देखो. Especially those who are also studying some professional course like CA, CMA, and those who are going to go for it, you have to understand the logic. Domestic में बेचता हूं खाली 10 का प्रॉफिट, एक्सपोर्ट में बेचता हूं 40, कितना प्रॉफिट बढ़ा? 30,000. यहां पे 10, यहां पे 40, 30,000 का प्रॉफिट बढ़ा है. Why? See the logic. आज का प्रीवियस सम, अरे आज का सेशन का प्रीवियस सम, डिसकंटिन्यूएंस ऑफ प्रोडक्ट Z, सेम लॉजिक. My profit has gone up by 30,000. Why? देखो आंसर मिल गया. फिक्स कॉस्ट इज सेम बट कंट्रीब्यूशन मेरा 30,000 से बढ़ा. So because of the excess contribution received to be received on export sales, my profit goes up by 30,000. That is because of this. So 10 का 40 हुआ, 30,000 increased because of this. अभी देखो लॉजिक. एक्सपोर्ट का सेलिंग प्राइस 230, एक्सपोर्ट का सेलिंग प्राइस 230, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 224. सो कैन आई से ऑन एक्सपोर्ट कंट्रीब्यूशन 6 per unit? If I sell goods in export market, I sell at a price of 230. My variable cost is 224. So 230 minus 224, 6 rupees is my contribution per unit. 6 rupees is my contribution per unit. Number of units 5,000. Number of units 5,000. So 5,000 into 6, 30,000 का contribution. So my contribution is up by 30,000 and because of that my profit also will be up by 30,000. तो खाली डोमेस्टिक में 10 का प्रॉफिट, एक्सपोर्ट में 40. So this is a logical explanation along with the supported calculations. 15 मार्क का सम आएगा, you have to show this. Even 7-8 मार्क का ये दिखाओ. The impression in the eyes of examiner will be very good and you have to do this calculation. Got it guys? So मुझे खाली तुमको रट्टा नहीं मारना था. I wanted to show you the detailed calculation. जैसे मैंने बोला वहीं पे आ जाएगा conclusion, but we have shown the detail. Okay, चाहिए तो conclusion लिख दो, लिखो. Since the total profit since the total profit increases by rupees 30,000, since the total profit increases by rupees 30,000, it is advisable, it is advisable to accept the export offer. It is advisable to accept the export offer as the increase in profit, as the increase in profit is purely, as increase in profit is purely because of increase in contribution, because of increase in contribution of export sales, because of increase in contribution of export sales. Got it, guys? So this was the concept, two concepts done today ka session mein. First was whether you should discontinue a product or no, and the second, export offer. Next class, again a YouTube open video, part 3 of decision making, key factor, a very interesting part and one of my favorite parts. That we will study in the next class. Please revise this, get the concept properly. Those who are studying with me, of course, those who are studying somewhere else also, you all will have further some like this. But my main object, the main agenda was to make you clear the basic concept of discontinuance of a product as well as export offer. That's it, guys. Take care. See you all in the next session.